What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel and to this review of Graindrop, which is the first plugin from a pretty cool company called Flowsonics. It's a kind of solo one-man army type of thing, and this is their first outing and it is pretty sweet. It's a granular delay and it has a lot of pretty cool and unique features. I'll go through all of them and show you what it sounds like. It was designed with kind of randomness in mind, and it's more of a sound design delay rather than just a stock delay that you can use as your go-to, but it has some pretty cool features that will kind of make it, I think, a pretty good addition to your arsenal. The interface is really simple and pleasant to the eye. This has everything on a single page and it's also scalable. And you have 5 different kind of sub-modules. You have the grains, you have the manipulation of those grains, the feedback of the delay, and the output section, as well as the XY pad. And this is pretty fun to play with. It has a few cool ways of manipulating your sound that I haven't really seen in other types of plugins of this sort. Obviously, it's a granular delay, so it kind of chops up the incoming signal into grains and then manipulates those. So you obviously have the length of each grain, the density, which is the time between each grain. You also have the shape, smooth, triangle, or square, and this is just the amplitude of the grain, and then the direction, forward, in reverse, or random. So let's have a listen to this. I'm gonna put it on max so we just hear what this section does to the sound. Everything else is off, as you can see, and I'm gonna put the offset at 0 milliseconds, and you have this nifty lock here to put it either synced or free, and I'm gonna leave it at 0, and we're just gonna hear this almost as an effect. But before we do that, this is the sample that we have to work with. So that's the length of the grain. It's super small. Let's say we have it at 100 milliseconds. Maybe slightly longer. That's good. Let's make this a bit faster. Maybe a bit less. I kind of like that. And let's see if we put it in reverse, what happens. Random. I kind of like random, and let's say we go for square. A bit too extreme. I like triangle. So let's use these and let's mix it a bit. So let's say we have a delay by like 300 milliseconds and put this mix to 50. Let's see what happens. That's pretty cool. And as you can see, it's in the middle. So what we can do is use the spread function here in the manipulation section and spread it out a bit. Let's see what happens at 100%. So it starts wobbling it around the stereo field. That might be a bit extreme. Let's see what it does here. I kind of like that, pretty subtle. And let's say, actually, let's make this 1/4 note. And I feel the need for a bit of feedback, so we have these 2 buttons here, the feedback amount. So let's see what that does. And then let's add a bit of a cutoff here. You have a low pass and a high pass. I'm gonna use the low pass. I like that. What you can also do that is pretty cool is change the pitch of it. Now it's locked, but you can move it either in increments of semitones or you just subdivide the subdivision in a way, so you can get some crazy results. Let's just say we opt for a crazy upper octave delay. Or a lower octave. And you can also add some random muting. Get these really intense tremolo effects. And you also have a nifty freeze button, so it literally just freezes that moment in the delay line. And this is a cool button because it can be automated. So if we go here, we see all of the different automations that we can do, and the freeze function is one of them. Everything mostly in this can be manipulated through the XY pad. So we can assign anything from length, density, pitch, spread, mute, feedback amount, cutoff, and offset to this, and same to this. And let's say we attach pitch to X, and let's say spread to Y, and let's see what happens. Let's assign it to something else here. Let's say length and density. Let's see how that does, and let's make sure we put this back to some decent amounts. So pretty insane there. And what we could also do is, if you right click, you can actually set a trajectory for all this, and it starts randomly automating this, and it's pretty insane. And let's assign it to something else. Let's say we put it to feedback amount and cut off, so it only affects the filter. Let's take these down like that. And maybe let's make this distance a bit. So that's Graindrop. You can get some pretty insane sounds out of this, but it is pretty fun to play around with, and that XY pad, especially with this drag function, is incredibly creative and can spark some pretty cool. I definitely recommend you give this a go. there's a free demo, try it out. The only thing you need to be careful with is the CPU usage. It does go up to 1%, and especially with all of this crazy stuff going around. So you can see the usage here. Now it's not really doing anything, and it's still at 0.9%. So stacking this might lead to some CPU choke, but overall it does some intense processing, so it's kind of to be expected. So that's the plugin. Let me know what you thought about the video, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching.